Uh, uh. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of the Morning Deuce, brought to you by hashtagtrending.com. I'm Davis Spindle. I am headed back to Boston for a couple days over Memorial Day, and I was looking up some different things to do there, and I'm a little frazzled right now because I wanted so badly to go watch the Red Sox in Fenway Park because it's been 3, maybe 4 years since I caught a game there, and this team, there's a lot going on in my life where my childhood and my life outside sports is meshing with my life in sports. This Red Sox team is an example of that. I don't think I felt disconnected to a Red Sox team since 2004. And I know it's early, and they broke the 86-year curse in 2004. So that team was huge. But what's going on right now with the Red Sox is special. They're scoring 1 million runs. They're scoring like 10 runs a game. They're the number one scoring offense. It's a lot of fun. I'm on the West Coast. I don't get to see the games. I work evenings. It's horrible. I'll check box scores and see highlights when I'm at work and stuff, but it's not the same. And every highlight I see, it is rocking in Fenway Park, and I just wanted to go see it in person. And now I think I have to wait until September when the Red Sox make a trip out to California, and I might be able to catch them then. But this team is special to me because of a couple of the guys on the team. First, we got David Ortiz. It's his last year. He's 40 years old. He's playing at an unbelievable level. He's batting over 300. He's got 9 or 10 home runs. He's crushing it. Classic David Ortiz, late inning walk-offs, just the most clutch baseball hitter that we've seen of this last generation. And that is so much a staple of what my childhood was, because I can remember in middle school when he first came over from the Twins and they were only having him bat against righties. And just thinking, this guy has a ton of potential. Like, he's doing so good. And thank God Jeremy Giambi was a steroids head who stopped taking steroids and ended up being terrible. So David Ortiz could bat against righties and lefties, and the rest is unwritten. But he's beyond baseball for the city of Boston. And I've said this recently. There was an incredible, a mix of journalism, childhood heroes, and sports. That gets me going. That's what we call a news boner for someone who works in the news industry, and that's what I got. Because Bob Lee, who's an incredible sports reporter and narrates an unbelievable story, has done one recently about a young boy from Wyoming who's about 5 or 6 who has very rare cancer, I want to say it is, but a really rare disease. Has had to have a form of it. He's had to have a ton of surgeries. And the bonding that he has with his stepfather is they bond over watching baseball. And his stepfather's, I guess, or his mother's boyfriend is a huge Red Sox fan. And because he can't do that much when he was little and he was always sick, they would watch the games together, and this little boy became obsessed with David Ortiz. And finally, through some charitable work, they were able to exchange some, I think a letter or two. And the way the story goes is that his name's Maverick, I believe, and he was having a horrible day. And they were able to reach out and get David Ortiz to do a little video clip to send to this 6-year-old boy in Wyoming. And David Ortiz said in the video clip, "I heard you're not having a good day, stick with it, you can do it." All the things that, as a little kid, you want your sports hero to say to you. All the things that they embody. And I've talked recently, what's amazing isn't being an incredible athlete or being the best in the world at something. It's what I want to do, and that's what we appreciate. And David Ortiz is the best designated hitter the world has ever seen. But it's continued excellence. The work ethic, the passion it takes for continued excellence, that's amazing. And that's what David Ortiz embodies. So when someone like that says, you can keep going, even if you're a little 6-year-old kid, that's your hero. And he says in the video, "I'm going to hit a home run for you tonight. So watch the game, I'm going to hit a home run." And of course, because the story is just too perfect, he goes out and he hits a home run for this little boy who's beside himself. Because when you're 6 and your hero tells you he's going to hit a home run for you, and he does, that's the greatest thing that's ever happened in your whole life. And David Ortiz ends up leading a comeback. The Red Sox win. This little boy is so happy, and they end up figuring out a way a week or two later to get him to Fenway Park from Wyoming and his parents. And he throws out the first pitch and spends the day with the team. And the story is really amazing. And that's what it is about David Ortiz. He's more than baseball. He's the city of Boston. And I almost want to go and just say to a game and just watch him one more time and say thank you. I mean, the guy he's more to it. I mean, we saw after the marathon terror attacks, he has his famous quote when he went and took the microphone and just said, "This is our fucking city." Because to him, you can't do that to Boston because he made it his home. So that's special to me. But goes beyond him. The backup catcher for the team is a guy named Ryan Hannigan. He catches the knuckleball pitcher, but he went to my high school and is the same grade, the same age as my brother. They're friends. They've known each other for a long time. My dad coached him in Little League or somewhere when he was growing up playing baseball, and now he plays for the Red Sox. Like that, he basically lived out my dream in the same way that I had as a little kid to, play for the Red Sox, and went to the same high school and managed to make that happen. And the other night he had 3 hits and scored the game-winning run. 3 hits and I think 4 RBIs or something and scored the game-winning run. It was unbelievable. I want to go see him play because that's the high school essence of what I wanted to do. And then I went to college at the University of South Carolina, and we had a great baseball team. We won 2 NCAA championships, and we made it to a third and lost. Our best player and my favorite player on the team was Jackie Bradley Jr. He was a fantastic college basketball player. Could run, could hit. He was the best at everything. I mean, he's the best fielder, the best hitter. He was the best at everything. And he got drafted by the Red Sox, and now he's our starting center fielder. And I've been thinking that he was going to be something special since, 2008, 2009. And now I get to see all 3 of those people on that same Red Sox team. So they might not be there when I'm in the city, but I'm going to see them when they come to the West Coast. I'm going to figure out a way because this team is too special to me. And then my other favorite college athlete who went to my college has been in the news recently. His name is Marcus Lattimore. If you don't know his story, he's one of the better college running backs of the last 10 years. He was incredible. Of all of the athletes that I got to see live in person, seeing him in college was one of the most special things because every time he touched a football, you stood on the tips of your feet because he could do anything at any moment. And his career was derailed by injury. He was unbelievable as a freshman at just 18. He tore his ACL. He fought, rehabilitated, got all the way back, was finally starting to be a great player again, and he had a horrific right leg injury. So bad that the other team at Tennessee, big rivals, all their players were going and their fans were cheering for Marcus as he tried to get off the field in a way that was beyond what normally happens when you see someone injured. There was just a respect for how special he was and how hard he had worked to get back to where he was. Eventually he was drafted, but he was never the same. And the article was interesting because Marcus Lattimore just graduated from college. Finally, and he said that he had promised his mom that he would, but he knew that if he went and played football, he wasn't sure it was ever going to happen. And the article talked about how happy he was, that he says that he's happier than he's ever been. He took some money that he had from his NFL signing bonus and used it to start a foundation, and the foundation is about helping high school athletes and college athletes recover from major injuries and either rehabilitate themselves or just helps them get through major injuries. And he does speaking engagements so that he can raise money for his own charity to give back. And it was it's on ESPN. It was a very impressive article because there's so many athletes that put everything into their career. It's their dream. And when it gets derailed, they have nothing left. They can't even get beyond it. I mean, I wasn't even a good athlete. I was okay, but marginal. And I have a messed up shoulder, and it's still is something that bothers me because I can't throw a ball the way that I used to. Or when I play sports, I have to consciously be thinking about how I'm doing them differently. I can't do them uninhibited. And I didn't have $1 million career ahead of me. The bright lights were not going to shine on me. And for someone who could have been the best in the world and had that taken away, to be able to look at the glass half full again and to honestly feel like his life maybe has more purpose now than it did when he was playing, that's special, because there's so many people who had a dream and could have done something, and something out of their control prevented it. And they can't always get beyond that moment. And it was just another way of explaining to me as I read the article, thinking that when you get lemons, how you make lemonade is what makes you the person you are. To show the character when things are difficult is what makes you who you are. And Marcus Lattimore is doing a really great job of that in his own way, of giving back to other people so they can have a better opportunity if they have an injury than he did. And that's pretty special. So this incredible blend is happening right now in my life of athletes that I respected beyond their sport that are close to me, and they are doing things right now that I want to be a part of. So that's really great. Now it's time for part 2. For part 2 of the Morning Deuce, normally we talk about health or tech or science. It's just sort of happened that way. But today is special because we're combining all three. I present to you the first ever successful penis transplant surgery. Obviously, I'm not presenting it to you because that would be really uncomfortable for everyone involved and probably would prevent viewers from, going back to this podcast again. But doctors at Massachusetts General Hospital performed the first ever surgery. They're calling it a landmark surgery, a 15-hour procedure after this guy had his penis amputated when he was diagnosed with cancer, and they were able to do this. And I guess they got a donor, which is something very strange to think about. But I guess if you're an organ donor, it includes all your organs. And they got an organ donor, and they found a match, and they were able to do this incredibly tenuous surgery. And it sounds like it's going well, and they're hoping that it will be fully functional. So I guess doctors at Johns Hopkins were trying to do it too, but Mass General beat them. So just another time. Another loss for Baltimore Ravens to the New England Patriots, except this is medical. But I guess this is the male answer. This could be the male answer to breast implants. You know, if you're insecure about what you got going down on there, science might have the solution to help you liven things up. Or, you get into a weird fiery car crash or something bad happens, maybe we can give you the opportunity to give life again. So science, health, tech all coming together. And this could change everything. I mean, there's look at Ernest Hemingway. There's rumors that in World War I, when he was an ambulance driver, he either saw someone lose their unit or he had problems with his own, never recovered, and then wrote all these incredible pieces of literature that were sort of melancholy and related to that inability to create life again. I mean, if he had been born now, we might have been, shafted from all those works, pun intended. So I just think, what a day. What a day. Tuesday, May 17th. Penis implants, they could be coming soon. Maybe they're the new, hey, you're an insecure guy at 19 years old and you want to make investment in something that makes you feel a little bit better about yourself. Penis envy is gone, according to what's on the horizon for us. So, think about that. You put that in your pocket, the male answer to breast implants. You save it for later. This has been the Morning Deuce. I'm Davis Findle. I hope you have a erect and eventful day. See what I did there? Deuces.